So let's cover everything you need to know about four-season tires, winter tires, and, in the case of Bronco, 3-peak snowflake rated LT tires. We're going to have to cover all this because there's need to know information on all this. I'm going to cover stuff on tire info that I wish I knew years ago. So let's just put the pedal to the metal. I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and we're going to talk all about tires, cover all that must-know info to keep you safe this winter. So let's just jump right in. This is an Outer Banks Bronco. These are not the tires it came with, because the tires that Sasquatch package Broncos come with are an LT all-season tire. And it's a good tire. It's got tons of tread. It will get you through snow, but where you're gonna lack, it's not gonna be so great on ice in regards to braking, acceleration, traction, and unfortunately, at temperatures below freezing, when you go a few degrees below freezing, the compound's going to freeze as well. And that's the real danger. It's not, it's pretty much always snowing in Canada, and we do face almost 6 months of winter conditions where we might be facing snow and ice. So we've got the perfect terrain to, really learn about snow tires versus four-season versus 3-peak snowflake rated tires. But all this comes down to what you must know is how cold is it gonna go? Because let's face it, four-season tires are gonna be decent in snow. Give them an average rating. But once they freeze, any traction that you might have hoped for, and any traction you're used to getting, once that compound freezes, and it freezes relatively early on, around -7 degrees Celsius, between -7 and -10, your four-season tire is going to freeze. It's going to offer you a whole lot less braking than usual. So this is going to catch you off guard and could get you into a real accident or some real issues. And let's talk quickly about 3-peak snowflake rated tires, like the LTs that you get on the Black Diamond and the Badlands Edition Bronco. Those are excellent examples, and actually we own, the family here, Marie-Pierre is currently off driving those 3-peak snowflake rated tires, and we both drove them on an F-150 all last winter. And we love the BF Goodrich KO2s. They are an incredible tire. We love them in the mud.
You ready, Winston?
We love them in the snow. We don't like them so much is when temperatures get below -15. Really around -12 we start to notice it. -15 we have issues, and anywhere from -20 and on, they are actually not very liked by us. They're somewhat dangerous in regards to overall braking time. And don't get me wrong, I love the KO2s. They are overall my favorite tire, and I will use them year-round on the Badlands. But I'm going to keep in mind that I've got to plan on braking way in advance when it's very cold out. So they're so-so on ice. They're okay on ice. They get the job done. Its main weakness is cold temperatures. And what it really breaks down to, what you need to know, is that the longer a tire lasts, generally the harder the compound is. And that compound is actually what makes it last quite a long time. A lot of mileage, a lot of kilometers, is actually what's going to make it not so great in the snow. The better the tire is in cold temperatures, generally the worse off it is for, long-term durability. So that's why on this Bronco Sasquatch, we didn't leave the original tires. Those are four seasons. Just to reiterate, those would have frozen around -7 to -10 degrees, and would have, once that compound becomes hard and frozen, well, then it's like a hockey puck sliding across ice. Your vehicle is just going to slide right across the ice the same way a hockey puck does. So you don't want that rubber compound getting frozen, and you do need to keep in mind that the better winter tire you get, the better it is at, sticking in cold temperatures, the better it is on ice. So softer compound, less likely to freeze, or freezes at a much colder freezing point, and starts sliding and taking much longer to break at a much colder temperature point, the less long that tire is going to last you. So you really need to look at what temperature are you dealing with on average, how cold is it going to get in your area, and pick the right tire based on your area and how cold it gets. So because we get very often throughout most of the winter, we're below -7 and often below -10, and well, we hit up to -30, -40. We absolutely could not live with a 4-season tire, and it's actually illegal in my area, and that became illegal about 8-9 years ago because of all the accidents that were caused by people. We get used to our tires and we figure, well, in the snow it takes me this X distance to brake when I'm going roughly this speed, so a little muscle memory. But then what happens is it gets very cold, and that gets completely thrown out the window, and it can take you 30, 40, 50% longer to brake. So I highly recommend that you shop a pure winter tire for your Bronco. Now, the Black Diamond and Badlands do come with tires that are rated for the winter, but that's a year-round tire. Both those tires, for example, the BF Goodrich KO2s, they last quite a long time, but they will freeze. You're not going to like it around -20, so you need to keep that in mind. So we'll continue updating you, but we can tell you that we have a full year of experience with the F-150 on BF Goodrich KO2s, and we absolutely loved them in the snow, and we're currently absolutely loving our Badlands BF Goodrich KO2s in the snow, except for when it's very cold out. Really starts to have an issue around -15 starts, and around -20, -25, well, they start to get pretty slippery in the corners. Traction going up hills at those temperatures becomes difficult, and braking takes quite a bit longer. So we're going to keep that in mind, and we're going to play it safe, knowing that, and this is why this is must-know information, knowing that, we do plan when it's cold out to start braking much more in advance. So much further, we plan ahead, we brake ahead. But the best plan ahead that you can have is to get a proper winter tire. Now, I love the Nokians. I'm going to throw a few other brands that I like as well, such as Michelin X Ice, Dunlop Winter Max. Those are all tires that we've had. We've found them to be quite fantastic. But in 35 inches, what were our choices? Well, we could have gone with another tire like a BF Goodrich KO2 or a Toyo Open Country, both of which have a really great aggressive look. They come in 35 inches, so great tire. However, great tire up until a certain point, up until it gets really cold out. So that's why we went with the Nokians, because they are a full-fledged winter tire. They will give us great traction, even when it's -30, -40. So keep all that in mind. Look at what your average temperatures are in the winter. Try to recall what's the coldest your area gets to and for how many days, and use that to help you pick out the right tire for your area. Well, I hope this has been helpful. That's the whole goal of this channel. So please hit like and subscribe. Not miss out and get more, must-know information, more news in regards to just vehicles, tires, car maintenance. We're here to help. Take care, and I wish you all more cars and more power. And I hope you get the pedal